Across the different continents, cultures, and decades, thousands of people have witnessed objects in the sky that defy logic, physics, and official explanation. These are not myths or internet rumors. Many were reported by respected newspapers, confirmed by radar, and witnessed by trained professionals. This is 7verse. These are the top 7 UFO sightings in the world. Number 7. Westall UFO Incident, Australia, 1966. On April 6, 1966, an ordinary school morning in suburban Australia turned into one of the most credible mass UFO sightings in history. At Westall, more than 200 students and teachers from Westall High School reported seeing a mysterious flying object descend from the sky. Witnesses described a metallic, saucer-shaped craft hovering silently over a nearby field. It appeared to land or hover just above the grass before suddenly accelerating straight upward at incredible speed. The object made no sound and left no visible exhaust. Moments later, several aircraft, believed by witnesses to be military jets, were seen circling the area. Teachers immediately attempted to restore order, but the event was impossible to ignore. Many students later claimed that military personnel arrived soon after and warned them not to discuss what they had seen. Several witnesses reported being questioned individually. The incident was reported the next day by The Age, a highly respected Australian newspaper, which described a flying saucer scare witnessed by schoolchildren. Coverage also appeared in the Herald, confirming that the event was taken seriously at the time. Decades later, ABC News revisited the case in investigative documentaries, interviewing former students and teachers whose testimonies remain consistent. Despite official denials from the Royal Australian Air Force, no convincing explanation has ever been provided. There were no experimental aircraft acknowledged, and weather conditions were clear. Today, the Westall UFO incident stands as one of the strongest non-US mass sightings, supported by newspaper records, eyewitness testimony, and the absence of any proven alternative explanation. Number 6. O'Hare International Airport UFO, USA, 2006. On November 7, 2006, a strange object appeared above one of the busiest airports on Earth, O'Hare International Airport. Multiple United Airlines employees, including pilots, mechanics, and supervisors, reported seeing a dark metallic disc hovering above Gate C-17. The object remained stationary in the sky for several minutes. Witnesses described it as solid, circular, and sharply defined. Then, without warning, it shot straight upward at extreme speed, punching a clean circular hole through the cloud layer. The hole reportedly remained visible for several minutes. What makes this incident exceptional is the credibility of the witnesses. The story was first reported by the Chicago Tribune, which conducted extensive interviews and published a detailed investigation. The report gained national attention and was later covered by CNN and Associated Press. The Federal Aviation Administration declined to launch a formal investigation, suggesting the object may have been a weather phenomenon, despite witnesses stating the weather was calm and visibility was clear. No radar data was publicly released. No aircraft matched the description. Nearly 2 decades later, the O'Hare UFO remains unexplained, standing as one of the rare cases involving a major international airport and multiple professional witnesses. Number 5. Tehran UFO Incident, Iran, 1976. In the early hours of September 19, 1976, radar operators in Tehran detected a bright, unidentified object hovering over the city. Civilians flooded police lines with reports of a glowing craft in the sky. The Iranian Air Force scrambled fighter jets to investigate. As one jet approached the object, its communication systems and instruments suddenly failed. When the pilot retreated, all systems returned to normal. A second jet experienced the same malfunction. The UFO reportedly released smaller objects that moved independently at extreme speeds. This incident is among the most thoroughly documented military UFO encounters ever recorded. A detailed report was compiled by the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, which later became public. The case was reported internationally by the Washington Post and discussed by BBC. Time magazine later referenced the case in analyses of Cold War aerial phenomena. The DIA report concluded the object demonstrated advanced technology beyond known capability. To this day, no conventional aircraft or natural explanation accounts for radar confirmation, electronic interference, and pilot testimony combined. Number 4. Rendlesham Forest Incident, United Kingdom, 1980. Between December 26 and 28, 1980, one of the most credible military UFO encounters in history occurred near RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge, two NATO air bases in Suffolk, England. The events unfolded in and around Rendlesham Forest, a dense woodland separating the bases. Late at night, U.S. Air Force security personnel observed strange lights descending into the forest. Initially believing an aircraft had crashed, a patrol was sent to investigate. What they encountered would later become known as Britain's Roswell. Witnesses described a triangular metallic craft resting on the forest floor. It emitted a bright glow and appeared to respond intelligently to human presence. One airman reported touching the object, describing strange symbols etched into its surface. Moments later, the craft lifted silently and vanished at incredible speed. The following night, Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt led another investigation. Using a handheld recorder, he documented unexplained lights moving through the forest, beams of light descending from the sky, and sudden aerial maneuvers. His recorded audio remains one of the most compelling pieces of UFO evidence involving military officers.
We just spoke to the first nightbird we've seen. We're about 150 or 200 yards from the site. Everything else is just deathly calm. There is no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead.
Halt later submitted an official memo, now famously known as the Halt Memo, to the UK Ministry of Defence, confirming that the incident was considered real and unexplained by base leadership. The story was reported by The Guardian, bringing national attention to the case. BBC later investigated the incident through documentaries and interviews, while The Times revisited the event in retrospective reports. Despite attempts by officials to attribute the sightings to a nearby lighthouse or mice-identified stars, trained military witnesses strongly rejected those explanations. No conventional aircraft or natural phenomenon could account for the close-range encounters, physical descriptions, and official documentation. To this day, the Rendlesham Forest incident remains the most serious and well-documented UFO encounter in British history. Number 3. The Phoenix Lights, United States, 1997. On the night of March 13, 1997, residents across Arizona witnessed one of the largest mass UFO sightings ever recorded. Shortly after sunset, a massive formation of lights appeared in the sky and slowly passed over Phoenix and surrounding areas. Thousands of witnesses described a gigantic V-shaped or boomerang-shaped object moving silently overhead. The craft appeared solid, with lights embedded along its underside, and was so large that it reportedly blocked out the stars behind it. Despite its size, it made no sound. The sighting was observed by civilians, pilots, police officers, and air traffic controllers. Many witnesses stated they could clearly see the structure of a single enormous craft rather than separate lights. Local news stations were immediately flooded with calls. The event was soon reported nationwide by USA Today, followed by extensive coverage on CNN and Fox News. Video footage and photographs were broadcast repeatedly, fueling public debate. The U.S. Air Force later claimed the lights were military flares dropped during training exercises. However, this explanation failed to account for the earlier sightings of a massive craft seen hours before the flares were released. Years later, former Arizona Governor Fife Symington publicly admitted during a television interview that he personally witnessed the object.
It was just breathtaking, and I'm not sure about the date. You've got a better memory for the dates than I do.
He stated clearly that what he saw was not from this world and far beyond known aircraft technology. The Phoenix Lights remain one of the most compelling UFO cases due to the sheer number of witnesses, credible observers, and widespread media coverage, making it nearly impossible to dismiss as mass hallucination or simple misidentification. Number 2, USS Nimitz Tic-Tac UFO, United States, 2004. In November 2004, U.S. Navy radar operators aboard the USS Nimitz strike group detected unknown aerial objects off the coast of California. What followed would become the most important modern UFO encounter ever publicly acknowledged by the U.S. government. Radar systems tracked multiple objects descending from over 80,000 feet to near sea level in seconds. Maneuvers impossible for any known aircraft. Navy pilots were scrambled to intercept. Commander David Fravor visually encountered one of the objects, a white oval-shaped craft with no wings, no exhaust, and no visible propulsion. The object mirrored the fighter jet's movements before accelerating away at hypersonic speed. Infrared footage captured by Navy pilots later confirmed the encounter. The object became known as the Tic-Tac due to its shape. The incident remained classified until 2017, when the New York Times published a groundbreaking investigation revealing the encounter and releasing official Pentagon-confirmed footage. The story immediately went global. Major coverage followed on CBS News and CNN, marking a historic moment. For the first time, the U.S. Department of Defense publicly admitted it could not explain the object. This incident forced governments worldwide to change terminology from UFO to UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, acknowledging that these objects represent a genuine unknown. Number 1. The Roswell Incident, United States, 1947. In July 1947, a mysterious discovery near Roswell ignited the world's most famous UFO case. Rancher William Mack Brazel found strange debris scattered across his land, metal fragments unlike anything he had ever seen. The Roswell Army Airfield issued a shocking press release stating it had recovered a flying disc. The announcement was published on the front page of the Roswell Daily Record and quickly distributed nationwide by Associated Press. Within hours, the military retracted the statement, claiming the object was merely a weather balloon. This sudden reversal triggered immediate suspicion. Decades later, multiple military personnel came forward claiming the debris was not from a balloon and that the event involved a classified recovery operation. The U.S. government later attributed the incident to Project Mogul, a secret surveillance program, but critics argue this explanation fails to match eyewitness accounts. Major outlets including the New York Times and National Geographic have repeatedly revisited Roswell, keeping the mystery alive. Roswell became the foundation of modern UFO investigation, shaping public belief in government secrecy and extraterrestrial possibility. Nearly 80 years later, it remains the most debated UFO incident in human history. 7 UFO sightings, 7 mysteries that defy explanation. Different countries, different decades. One unanswered question, are we alone? As governments slowly release classified files and pilots continue to report encounters, one thing becomes clear. The truth has not yet been fully revealed. This was Sevenverse. Subscribe to Sevenverse, where real events challenge what we think we know.